From the Good News Broadcasting Studio headquarters here in Nairobi, good evening. This is The Insight, and my name is Eugene Ochieng Kwach. In The Insight, we strive to keep you at par and pace with the latest political, social, and economic trends in the political landscape of Kenya. Well, it's merely a year before Kenya gets to the 2022 general elections, and right here on The Insight, we will be bringing you political conversations meant to enlighten, to educate, and enrich your experience and broad knowledge and understanding the trends in Kenya's political landscape and beyond. In this episode, we delve into Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta's game plan 2022. Do these men have an agenda, or theirs is to block William Samoei Ruto? What precipitated the rock-bottom relationship between the once dynamic duo, the president and his deputy president, when Raila, Uhuru, amidst other leaders of One Kenya Alliance meet? What could be cooking? A super alliance? If so, who will be the flag bearer? These, together with more, are the questions we tend to focus on tonight on the episode of The Insight. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me in this high-voltage discourse is three gentlemen. Torstant Alenga. Torstant Alenga is a political analyst. And we have Vodenyi Chayuga. Vodenyi Chayuga is a diplomat and a youth leader at ANC Youth League. We have Zach Babere Mosabi. Zach Babere Mosabi is a political analyst. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. And you can continue discussing with us and talk to us, keep the conversation flowing on the different platforms. You can use our SMS line at 21144. You can also find us on different social media platforms on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter at GBS TV Africa, at Eugene Ochieng Kwach. The conversation begins tonight. And of course, we walk the talk. Let me ask you, Mr. Zach Babere. Is Uhuru crafting a winning formula against his deputy, William Ruto, from Mayo State?
Kwach, thank you for that question, and it's a very wonderful question that Kenyans need to know.
Yes.
As per now, what we can say is that you know the working relationship between the deputy president and the president.
Mm-hmm.
And this is someone who helped him to win a seat, the president winning, the Uhuru Kenyatta.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like things are changing. Mm-hmm. Whereby the president is trying to come up to form some, to help people form some coalition, mm-hmm. To fight his own child. Mm-hmm. I can say he's a child because mm-hmm. this is a guy who helped him to win a seat. Mm-hmm. And as things were, Uhuru himself promised us that there is that kumi yake mm-hmm. na kumi ya mm-hmm. Dr. Ruto. Mm-hmm. But things are not working the same. Yes, your question is very correct. Mm-hmm. And he's really crafting and trying to bring things up with some confusion of the handshake. Mm-hmm. That how can it come in mm-hmm. so that the president, Uhuru clinch into power mm-hmm. using some other means
okay.
of a collusion. Mm-hmm. All mm-hmm. he still have a say in government
okay.
without Dr. Ruto being inside.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask this to Mr. Alenga. Well, as we were heading towards 2022, as late as 2017, the president had promised to support Dr. William Ruto. And I'd love to know what went wrong.
Thank you very much, Eugene, for welcoming me on your show today. Mm-hmm. And I totally appreciate the tone from where we have begun this conversation. Yes. But then if we look at the relationship between the DP and the president, yes. and then we ask our question of where did the president stop his quest to support the DP, mm-hmm. or where did they part ways? Mm-hmm. It's very simple to decipher this conversation because when you look at the structure of a system of governance, mm-hmm. it gives us a twin candidacy of the president and the deputy president. Mm-hmm. But we must not forget that we're in Africa, so we must not forget mm-hmm. how power is run. Mm-hmm. Power is never subordinated. Mm-hmm. Because if you have the president and you have the deputy president, no matter how much that candidature was one joined at the hip like a CMS twin, it still remains that we have a president and we have a deputy president. So it was plain and simple for Uhuru Kenyatta to gain the support of the president. He was supposed to listen to the president and serve the president as per the constitution, because it outlines him as a principal assistant to the president. Principal assistant in very abstract words just means that you listen and wait for the command.
Okay.
There was a moment when Uhuru tried to flash to DP that you're going the wrong direction. You remember the day he said, huyu kijana William atakuja kitangatanga hapa, mtamwambia hiyo maneno. You know, he was trying to tell him, look out. You're not supposed to send yourself. I am supposed to send you. So that's where they broke ranks, because even when we look at the very basic doctrine of power, it goes without saying that never outshine your master. But there are things the DP did outrightly to outshine the master, and that is how the president cut ranks with him. It was never anything serious. It was about the conduct of the DP and how he was running things.
Okay, well, so many people have suggested that Uhuru is still young. And actually, Zach had intimated such and alluded to it, that there is a plan of them clinging to power, President Uhuru Kenyatta. Well, and so many people have also are on record, politicians are on record suggesting so. Well, let me ask you, Vodenyi, do you think that this is the reason why perhaps President Uhuru Kenyatta is so much into succession politics?
Well, thank you so much for hosting me tonight.
Yes.
Okay, and just to begin from where we stopped, that Uhuru wants to cling to power.
Yes.
I think Uhuru has been very categorical. He has spoken and has said that he's not interested in 2022.
Okay.
And he doesn't want to be president. He wants to retire and go home. So basically, I think what the DP camp is trying to do is they are just crying babies now.
Okay.
They're just trying to maybe insinuate something to their supporters, such that they can gain sympathy. But Uhuru, from where I sit, or from what I understand, or from his utterances, I'm sure that Uhuru is going to retire.
Okay. Zach, Alenga is telling us Deputy President is trying to outshine his master, and that is maybe where they broke ranks.
You know, I believe one thing in democracy and how things are run by individual level.
Yes.
Your brain.
Okay.
If you are the president, you have said it very, my friend has said it very well.
Okay.
The deputy president is the principal assistant to the president.
The president.
Now, if your boss is not articulating some issues that you see and the tanga to wananchi and you know them, you come out and do them and advise. If he's not able to take your advice, then you can do what you can at your capacity. And that is not outshining your president.
So it is right when he says that the things that the deputy president was doing that was meant to outshine his master.
Actually, it's not, because maybe the president was living in a fear that maybe somebody may run out. So my friend here has said something about the deputy president camp being a crybabies.
Okay.
If it could be so, we could be out here looking for a coalition.
Okay.
As people are doing, you can see Okoa, you can see they're trying to bring in Raila Odinga. They're trying to do all manner of things. They came out with the handshake. Actually, without the handshake, things could be working more better.
Okay.
As you can take it from me, 2017.
Yes.
2013 to 2017, our government was performing very nicely. But from 2017, things changed. Whereby after the handshake issues in 2019, 2018, things changed. Which means it's the handshake that brought all this confusion by people, some individuals, ignoring their roles of opposition, trying to run out the government. Now they again need the presidency.
But isn't there something pinching you?
Oh yeah, this guy has said there are things that the president was not doing that the DP decided to do. I would like him not to lie to Kenyans. Please highlight some of those things that the DP has done that the president didn't do.
Okay.
If I may ask.
I think for the benefit of doubt, be that as it may,
yes.
Even if there are things that your president is not doing, it is not, that is not how politics works, and that is not how power works. Remember, even if you look at the Bible, you know, Satan felt there are things that God was not doing. He was not coming down to talk to his children one-on-one, and he decided to do that. And you remember what, you know what the Bible says, what happened. What happened.
Let me ask you this.
So clearly,
yes,
there is, you know, I would simply put it this way: it is the dog that wags the tail, not the other way around.
Okay, Alenga, let me ask you: is there a possibility of Raila and Uhuru? Is there a possibility of Uhuru claiming to power? And is also there a possibility of Raila and Uhuru going home 2022 and then supporting a compromise candidate? And should they support a compromise candidate, which candidate is best fit for this?
Number one,
Yes.
power is never given.
Okay.
You look for it. And if you can look at, even right now, for Uhuru Kenyatta to be attracted towards Raila Odinga and feel like he's supporting him for the presidency, it's because he has seen prima facie Raila Odinga has the following.
Okay.
He has worked hard for it for decades, actually for years. It's not that it's not something he woke up to yesterday. He has been working for this. And if you look at the election of 2007, after the massive rigging that happened, Raila Odinga had a win of 44%.
Okay.
His votes were 44% of the total votes cast. That is after the manipulations that happened.
Okay.
In 2013, he still had 44% against TNA. In 2017, he still had 44%. So sort of this 44% is a constant. And this 44% actually translates to over 7 million voters. So this is a stronghold that you have been able to get hold of. You know, you can remember when Kalonzo and Davadi tried to run each on the ballot. You remember how many votes they garnered?
Yes.
Even their whole region, they could not galvanize the vote in their region. So that is how power works, that you must show that potentiality, that even if you're given a little push, because in politics, you don't need to be lifted literally from this point to this point. People will even wonder, you know. You can imagine today if Uhuru said he's supporting Kalonzo Musyoka for the presidency. Imagine how much work Uhuru has to do, because he has to go deep into Mbalambala and tell the people, this is Kalonzo. You see him, this is Kalonzo. You know, he has to go to Malaba and convince people, okay, this is Kalonzo. But then for Raila, he doesn't have too much work to do. You get? Because ideally, if Raila has been consistently getting, you know, numbers don't lie, has been consistently getting 44%. So he actually requires, for the next election, he requires just 6% plus one vote. And that 6%, if you calculate it based on the voter register of 2017, it comes up to around 827,000 votes. That one Uhuru can get even in Kiambu alone without bothering the rest of the Gikuyu land. He doesn't have to bother them so much.
Well, let me bring
just
in,
a little.
Yes. Well, let me bring in Vodenyi Chayuga before I give you a chance. Vodenyi, Alenga is telling us that Raila has worked for where he is today. We have Mudavadi and Kalonzo who are saying that now it is time for Raila to support us as the OKA. Now, what do you think? Because he's saying that should he support Kalonzo or maybe Mudavadi?
The burden is too big.
Then he has to work so much. He has to work so hard.
And there is no time.
And there is no time. What do you think?
Just begin.
Yes. And Mudavadi says that he must be the ballot.
We need to tell each other the truth.
Yes.
If crowds could translate into votes,
yes,
then Raila would be president long time ago.
Okay.
So now coming to the OKA and the OKA alliance.
Okay.
Number one, we are focused on the presidency. And this is why I'm telling you, the Raila of 2007 is not the Raila of 2013, neither is it the Raila of 2017. Why? These votes, they were coming from a specific region. Or he had core principles, that is the dead NASA. He had these people who were assisting him to garner these votes. But now, these people are no longer there. You want to tell me Raila will get the same number of votes he got in Western Kenya? That's not right. That's not true. If you go to Kambani, you want to tell me Raila will get the same number of votes? That's a very big lie. So today, truth is, the Raila of 2007 is not the Raila of 2022. He's a weaker Raila. He's okay. I can say he's an injured lion.
You know, you're talking about Raila, but I want you to delve in to tell us what Kalonzo, what Mudavadi can do, because
as one Kenyan
when you're talking about Raila, you're talking about Raila's vote reducing because they can't get the same numbers in Western or in Ukambani.
Yeah.
But what about Mudavadi?
Okay.
Is Mudavadi of 2013, has he made some steps in politics?
Yes. The Mudavadi you know today. Okay, if you compare the Mudavadi of 2013,
Yes.
he's not the Mudavadi we are seeing today.
What's the difference?
Yes.
What has he
difference
done?
is,
What has, yes.
in 2013, he ran for presidency in 2013. He managed to garner around 400,000 votes. And for instance, if you start with the party head, the party had a fewer number of representatives, that is MPs and other seats in 2013. Compared to today, now as ANC, it has at least, there is some improvement. Now, together now with Kalonzo Musyoka, if these two combine, I can assure you, in 2022, this is the president.
In 2007, if I'm not wrong,
I think Eugene,
Kalonzo
also
got over 800,000 votes.
We will be giving my friend here a lot of time to make a lie dwell on the table and make it look like a truth. So we have to debunk this. We have to debunk this and systematically. We have to debunk this systematically.
Yes.
You know, when Raila got 44% in 2013, both Kalonzo Musyoka and when Raila got 44% in 2007, Kalonzo had deserted him.
Yes.
When Raila got 44% in 2013, Mudavadi had deserted him, and when he deserted him, at least to even make your lie look a little bit closer to the truth, maybe we'd have expected him to even garner even 1 million votes in Western Kenya. And then when you look at the other issue of how many votes these two have been bringing Raila, when you're talking about a contribution of the votes that Raila gets, and then you mention that Raila got massive support from Western, we'll be being disingenuous, we'll be taking our viewers for a ride, and that is not the truth. In reality, in 2017,
let me also give Zach
in 2017, even Jubilee got more seats in Western Kenya, the backyard of Musalia Mudavadi.
Okay.
As compared to Zach.
The other core principal, Senator Wetangula, is the only senator in that party. So, what were these numbers that they are bringing?
Zach.
You know, there's
What do
something
you think?
Alenga is saying.
Yes.
That Raila in 2017 to all the way to this moment, that even you have said something that the president is supporting him because he has tried before and he has masses behind him.
Yes.
Remember in 2017, it is William, the current deputy president, who was behind him. In 2007, right? And in 2007, that matters where these things came about, the court issues, and there was a lot of issues where they made friends with now the Uhuru. From this moment, you cannot say Raila has never stood himself. Actually, at some point, I agree with my friend here from Oka, that Raila has never gone in as a one man in any political seat. He must, all these masses you are saying is behind him. He has been getting the masses from the people, from the same Akina Mudavadi. Last time was from Dr. William. So by now, he's now trying to look. He came in knowing that he can get Mount Kenya votes from the president. That's why now he's clinching with the president with the handshake.
Talking about confidence, let me ask you.
But the thing here is that Raila doesn't have even the confidence of himself going to the people. You only have masses that maybe can confuse a few people in Nyanza region.
Zach,
because of having a party which is tribal based.
Zach,
let us just be honest.
You're talking about coalitions, and that begs the question: what makes the UDA? What gives them confidence that they can go at it alone? Because for the longest period in the political landscape of Kenya, since Kenya was declared a multi-party state, we have been seeing leaders joining hands together, parties coming together so that they can clinch they can go at it together at the presidential level. What makes it different with the UDA?
UDA
yes.
is a party. Remember, it's a affiliation party of Jubilee.
Okay.
From PDR now to UDA, right? UDA is a party that is trying to bring a face of Kenya. Why am I saying so? The chairman of UDA is a Kamba.
Okay.
The SG of UDA is a Kikuyu.
Okay.
The treasurer of UDA is a Kisi.
Okay.
So they don't need all these coalition which can be formed inside one party instead of coming up with the different parties forming an alliance. Even the alliances that people have formed.
Yes.
The alliances that people have formed in current like OCA.
Yes.
These kind of alliances, they are not even agreeing to themselves. They are not able to agree within themselves about their presidential candidate. How will they convince that they want to unite Kenyans if they cannot agree among themselves?
But by saying that...
Now you see, let me finish.
Yes.
Again, there is one position of the executive director in UDA. It's from Lowland, from Luya. Actually, this is a party that is a party that has its own way of running things. It's trying to bring to finish this kind of tribalism party in Kenya. All parties that are run with tribal chiefs.
Other parties tribal?
They are. Actually, they are. Why am I saying so?
Yes.
The reason of OCA
yes.
is that because Musalia, me as Musalia, I will bring the Luo community. Me as Raila, I will bring some region of Nyanza. Of Nyanza.
But Raila is not in OCA.
No, they were trying something to work, but it's never worked. Kalonzo, the same thing from Ukambani. So this is something that they are trying to bring, the 5 tribal chiefs trying to bring things together. There is nothing.
Let me get a rejoinder from Isa.
Yeah.
I think I would like you to really get out of this illusion that UDA is a party, number one. Because you see, the people who purport to make UDA are MPs elected on Jubilee ticket. Jubilee, the symbol, or this symbol. Then you now purport to be a member of a party with a different symbol, with different colors, and they can't see. And then now you count this as the membership for that new party.
That's why they moved.
Number two, number two.
They have moved. They have moved to you.
No. They haven't moved. They should have. If they were confident enough, they should have resigned and gone home, called for by-elections, which they would vie on that UDA. And then defend that, then they can come and tell us. So, if you look at that kind of mediocrity that is happening in a political space, undermining democracy, the Elections Act is very clear that if you're elected on a certain party, and then when you get to parliament, you start advancing the ideologies of another party. You are deemed as have resigned from that party, and a by-election should be called. But because Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the party leader for Jubilee, is very lenient with them, then they imagine that they have a party. Number two, look at the people that were following Deputy President.
We're going for a break, sir, but we are going to come back.
I think before you go.
Welcome back to the broadcast. This is the Insight, and continue conversing with us at 21144. That is our SMS line. You can also find us on GBS TV Africa, at Eugene Kwach, and all social media platforms. Well, Vodenja Yuga, let me start with you. President Uhuru Kenyatta has twice met the ODM leaders, and the ODM leader, Raila Odinga, and of course the One Kenya Alliance principals. That is Kalonzo Musyoka, Gideon Moi, and Musalia Mudavadi. What is cooking? Is there super alliance looming?
Right. As One Kenya Alliance, we've always said we are open to anyone joining our alliance. We've not closed the doors. Our doors are very wide open. If His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta is ready and he's willing to join us and maybe support us, well and good. We've also extended our hand to Raila Odinga, and we've told him, you are equally welcome to join One Kenya Alliance. So we cannot run away from the fact that we need each other to win 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Mr. Lenga, what could be the agenda of the meeting? Because the president is meeting the ODM leader, Raila Odinga, and the One Kenya Alliance partners. And it's not once, not twice, since in Mombasa State House. What could be cooking?
Let's start from the top.
Yes.
The president was supposed to support William Ruto. It didn't happen.
Yes.
The president then started an interesting cooperation with ODM and by large,
yes,
by Honorable Raila Odinga.
Yes.
And if you look at the body language, there's probably some promises they have made to each other.
Yes.
And if you look at what is happening, there's actually promises they have made to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes without saying,
mm-hmm,
at this moment,
mm-hmm,
the president cannot jump Raila,
mm-hmm,
and now go to a third person.
Okay.
Even that third person will not believe him.
mm-hmm.
So he has to stay with his sins. He has to stay with the first sin.
Yes.
You get?
Yes.
Because that is how you'll view this thing politically.
Mm-hmm.
Before we had this conversation, there's so many people that used to say,
mm-hmm,
the president is just lying to Raila, he's just trying to contain him, then
yes,
at the 11th hour he'll come back to
mm-hmm,
to DP and support him,
mm-hmm,
and they will leave Raila in the cold.
mm-hmm.
So sometimes I want to go back to those people who used to say that and ask them, are you still saying that way, or you can explain?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then thirdly,
mm-hmm,
if you look at the conversations that have been going on in State House Mombasa specifically,
mm-hmm,
and other venues,
okay,
there are two things involved.
mm-hmm,
The One Kenya Alliance,
mm-hmm,
the formation of One Kenya Alliance is so suspect
mm-hmm,
in its nomenclature,
mm-hmm,
and in its structure.
okay,
You'd ask yourself a fantastic question that would answer all of your questions.
yes,
Why is Gideon Moi in One Kenya Alliance?
mm-hmm,
That is one thing that the One Kenya Alliance members don't seem to ask themselves.
Yes.
Is he there for the interest of the president,
mm-hmm,
or for the interest of the three other partners?
okay,
Because clearly,
mm-hmm,
that is an incompatible relationship. There's somebody doing something to the other. When One Kenya Alliance had a meeting in Naivasha,
mm-hmm,
sometimes I just want to call it a lunch out, because there's really nothing that they
okay,
discussed.
let me ask Chayuga this. Chayuga,
Yes.
well, Gideon Moi is in the alliance,
Yes.
with the One Kenya Alliance.
Yes.
But of course, it's still non-committal whether it's going to leave the alliance that they had earlier on with Jubilee.
Yes.
What is it? Because the NASA has already been dissolved.
Yes.
And we have Ford Kenya and we have now Wiper leader, and of course we also have Musalia Mudavadi.
Yes.
All from different parties now forming One Kenya Alliance.
Yes.
But still, Ford Kenya, not Ford Kenya, but we have Gideon Moi's KANU party,
Yes,
has not yet joined One Kenya Alliance officially.
Okay, first we gave room for parties, the single parties,
mm-hmm,
to leave the previous alliances.
Yes.
And that is why we've given KANU time,
yes,
that they can leave Jubilee,
mm-hmm,
and now officially join One Kenya Alliance. And
Yes.
One Kenya Alliance, it's not a closed thing.
mm-hmm,
It's still very open.
mm-hmm,
That is why we are still engaging each other.
mm-hmm,
That's why we are still engaging KANU and the party leader, that is Gideon Moi.
mm-hmm,
And we are sure and hopeful that we will work together,
mm-hmm,
and we'll have other partners on board,
mm-hmm.
for the good cause of this nation.
From where you sit, Zach, you look at ODM, of course, ostensibly, the president is going to support Raila for presidency.
Mm-hmm.
And we have One Kenya Alliance, this other side. Mudavadi is saying, it is my time, you have to support me. You have Kalonzo Musyoka saying he has to be supported as they had agreed in the NASA earlier on, in the memorandum. From where you sit, you earlier on said that all these things are about tribes, about maybe positions. As from where you sit in UDA, what do you think about all these things? And what are you guys also doing so that you can clinch the power?
You know,
Yes.
these are just dramas.
Okay.
It's like how you are trying to seduce a lady outside there.
Yes.
This is what Raila is doing,
Mm-hmm,
to Oka,
okay,
to One Kenya Alliance.
Mm-hmm,
Because both of them, they don't have a manifesto.
okay.
They don't have any plan.
Do you have a manifesto?
Apart
Which plan
from-
do you
No,
have?
wait, I will tell you, yes, we have.
Okay.
what they only have, the only thing is about power sharing and money.
Okay.
That's why now the president is trying to bring them together.
Okay.
And I'm telling you for sure, from where I sit, if One Kenya Alliance happen to work together with Raila or Odinga, they will end up only supporting Raila for presidency.
Okay.
Because this is all wastage of time. Sijui ganging against one person. Why is now? What are we doing as the UDA party? UDA, as I've told you, is already a party that has taken shape of the nation.
Okay.
Now we have brought on a discussion. We have already talking about other things which were there, and now which they were trying to bring the OCOA, the handshake, do what. Now we are talking about the bottom-up economy, where our manifesto is about the common mwananchi. Our manifesto is like how a father can a father is able to bring up a child, give him some few resources so that can be stable and the father can be in peace. So it's not about this. This OCOA. All I can say is about power sharing. They cannot even agree among themselves.
Okay.
They are confused. They don't know who will flag off the rally. Because they were as my friend has said, Alenga, they were in Naivasha. They never agreed. They are not going to agree soon. That's why the president is trying to come in. So to me, even we could not be talking about One Kenya.
Alenga, let me ask this to Alenga. Alenga, the president is reportedly leaning towards a Raila Odinga presidency, and the One Kenya Alliance supporting him. But of course, we have heard them, Musalia Mudavadi and some other members, Wetangula, and saying that it is now time for Kenya to have new faces. We also have Kalonzo Musyoka saying that he cannot support Raila Odinga for a third time. What other options can Raila Odinga explore if One Kenya Alliance fails to support him in the presidency?
That's a fantastic question, and I think there's already a checkmate for the One Kenya Alliance principles in place.
Okay.
We're seeing from the, pictures tell a thousand, is worth, one picture was worth 1,000 words.
Sure.
When you look at Raila's activities in Eastern, if Kalonzo Musyoka walks away from Raila can always work with the combination of Governor Ngilu, who is a very powerful Kamba politician, very powerful indeed. She was very instrumental in formation of NAC in 2002, and that led to the presidency of Mwai Kibaki.
Yes.
He can get the support of Governor Alfred Mutua.
Okay.
He can get the support of his long-term friend in the civil society, Governor Kivutha Kibwana. These are three serious and powerful governors in one region.
Okay.
If Mudavadi plays hardball, Raila has already shown he's gravitating towards elevating Oparanya and working with him. Yesterday, there's a new party in town that was formed, the National Alliance, National Alliance Congress. Yeah, the one for JB Muturi, Kivutha Kibwana, and Mukisa Kitui. Mukisa Kitui can actually be, and this new party is actually the formation of.
But we need to tell us.
You'll see.
Really, who is Mukisa Kitui?
You'll see. You will see the hand of the government in these things.
Yes.
So if and then there's also Jimmy Wanjigi who wants to run for presidency. So Jimmy Wanjigi has been strategically put into Central to run for presidency on an ODM ticket just to prepare acceptability and ground for the ODM party. So that at the end of the day, in the long run, he'll fold his ambitions and say, by the way, I have seen this is the man that is worth it. And then he's asking, who is Mukisa Kitui? Let me tell you, politics is built on money and social capital. Even you here, if we wanted you to become MP tomorrow, you will be. And you will beat a very serious person as long as we give you the money and we sell you and we take you around. But those people in One Kenya Alliance have one simple problem. They cannot spend. Those people can't.
Let me, you can't spend. Your party leader cannot spend. Yes. What's the problem?
Tell me, Eugene, from a very simple point of view.
Yes.
Tell me if Kalonzo Musyoka can traverse the country on his own pocket, like the way Uhuru Kenyatta did in 2017,
But
or the
who
way
did choose
Raila,
his own
or the way
pocket?
Raila did in 2017.
You and I are aware of
No, of course there are power brokers.
Yes.
Of course, there are power brokers that give you the money, but that is now your budget.
They want a cake
Let's say
somewhere.
even if Mudavadi was given that money,
Yes.
can he willingly remove it from his pocket and
Yes,
hire
of course.
choppers and go around?
Nobody has choppers. Nobody has used his choppers. In 2013, whose choppers was he using? We saw that in 2017 as well, traversing this country with using his own choppers.
Of course, should the state now fail to support Mudavadi, because Mudavadi is saying he's going to be on the ballot. Kalonzo wants to be on the ballot. Everyone wants to be on the ballot. Should the president support Raila, Odinga presidency, the media outlet there? Of course, we also have Gideon Moi, Spatu, Kanu chairman. We have Kanu leaders saying that they cannot they cannot ignore Raila Odinga aside in the conversation about national leadership towards 2022 elections gearing towards 2022. What do you think if Kanu is not supporting Mudavadi and the state is also not supporting Mudavadi? What is there for you?
Okay, we've been very clear as One Kenya Alliance.
Yes.
We will field a presidential candidate come 2022.
Yes.
Even as my friend here, Alenga, says that from Naivasha we just went for a lunch tour. The truth is, from Naivasha, we agreed that there are very key issues that we discussed and agreed that. Yes, I read it. I have it.
Would have said in Nairobi.
I have it.
Did they really have to go to Naivasha to tell us about COVID?
We agreed that 2022, we must, as One Kenya Alliance, we must field a presidential candidate. It doesn't matter who it will be,
Yes.
but we will have
you.
a presidential candidate.
Okay.
But do you take it serious?
Must it be Mudavadi?
Do you take it serious when a coalition you support meets in Naivasha for 2 days only to come out and say we shall have a candidate, but we will tell you?
It's
Then we
very
go back to
serious.
Nairobi.
Yes.
Wow.
We are engaging amongst ourselves,
agree
and
among themselves.
we are working on
How
a
will they
formula.
agree to
But you see,
We are
Eugene,
working on a formula.
we are
Let me
we are
get
giving a
back
lot
to
of
Zach. I'm
premium.
coming to you,
We
Alenga.
are giving a lot of premium to Oka as if they want to run for presidency. They don't want.
We are running for
They don't
president.
want. You know these people?
We are running
they're
for
like
president.
they're like Arsenal. We are insisting for them to win the trophy, but they are not interested in football.
Yes.
So what One Kenya
Going to
Alliance
play rugby.
is,
Yes, yes.
you know, you know, when One Kenya Alliance principles differed with Raila,
Yes.
do you know the reason they gave? They
Money.
say he has refused to give us money.
No, we said mistrust. We
These
said
people are
mistrust.
after money.
We said mistrust.
So
We said
clearly,
mistrust.
so clearly,
If you cannot
One
honor
Kenya
whatever we
Alliance.
agreed, if you
One
cannot
Kenya
honor
Alliance,
a memorandum,
One Kenya
then why
Alliance
should we
is a
engage with
kiosk
you?
for brokerage. So they just have to establish this kiosk and play hardball until someone tells them, Wetangula, come here. I think I have this. You come here. I want to give you this. When they say that we have their biggest grievance was money.
No,
even
it
what
was
made,
mistrust.
Even what made
It was mistrust.
remember, Zach, maybe you can be sober to this. When Kalonzo Musyoka met with Raila in the evening, the next day he called a press conference and said, I discussed with Raila about the money, the party issues.
Zach,
Actually,
that is our right. Anyway, Zach,
That is our right.
Is
that not our right?
And then they say,
Constitutionally, is that not our right?
and then they say we left Raila because of trust issues, but they still say
we can't trust
we are welcoming him. So, I mean,
We can't
you
trust him.
cannot chase your wife and then still call him, even when he's probably having another
and
spouse.
of course, that even begs the question that if they were folding NASA, running away from NASA.
And actually,
let me call it
NASA
true.
has not been folded. That's
Yes.
the reality.
Okay.
Nobody has deposited a letter with the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties.
Yes.
So that it is ratified, and the director, the office of the Registrar of Political Parties gazettes that NASA is no more. Nobody. They just came to the TV. They said we have folded NASA. Then they went home.
We've written a letter to
They have not
We've written a letter to
deposited
the
them.
Office of the Registrar.
Let
Who
me
has
just
deposited? Wetangula has.
ANC has. From where I sit, ANC has written a letter to the registrar of political.
Purportedly a joint
I'm sure about this. The ANC chairman deposited a letter to the registrar.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
If you guys were running away from NASA,
Yes.
literally,
Yes.
and
Raila was your problem.
say that we are welcoming Raila.
We are forming a new team.
They even
We are
said
forming a
Raila
new team. Any player joining this team.
Let me ask you this.
Any player joining this team.
Let me ask you this.
How new is your new?
If you was asked, if you did not want to work with Raila,
Yes.
and that is why you are allegedly folding.
They called him a liar.
Yes.
They called him
Any team.
Now they want this bully back.
Whenever you form a new team,
Yes.
there are rules and regulations. So whenever Raila, and we've said this, Raila is coming in as an equal. He's not, now in NASA he used to bully us, but now
Raila is equal to Wetangula.
yes, he's coming in. We are all equal principles. You don't come and bulldoze others.
Smoke.
You don't come and bulldoze others. So whenever you are joining One Kenya Alliance, be it Raila Odinga, be it William Samoei Ruto, anyone joining.
Let me ask Zach this question. There has been many cases of the incumbent supporting a presidential candidate.
Yes.
In 2002, we had the incumbent Moi supporting Uhuru presidency. Uhuru failed.
Yes.
In 2013, allegedly, Mwai Kibaki, the incumbent, was supporting Mudavadi. Mudavadi failed. 2022, as we're heading to as we're getting towards the 2022 elections, ostensibly, the President Uhuru Kenyatta, the incumbent, is supporting a Raila Odinga presidency. What could be different? This time, and of course, first of all, I'd love to know what is the influence of the incumbency. What is the influence of the incumbency? And getting towards 2022, should Uhuru support Raila? Do you see?
Let me be open to you and tell you why these incumbents they try to support someone.
Yes.
It's because they want some protection.
Okay.
That they feel maybe the person who was the junior.
Yes.
Or the immediate person who could take power, like the deputy president now by that time, may feel there is some loopholes somewhere, that there was a mistake that need to be covered up.
Yes.
And they're not ready to cover up for someone.
Okay.
So they try to look for someone outside to come in and they support. Now, you have all the answers. That shows you political endorsement does not work in Kenya.
Okay.
But the Kenya is crying for endorsement from the president.
What they need and what we need as Hustler Nation is the endorsement from the Mwananchi. The deputy president has never asked the president that support me. He doesn't have the he came to and cleared out that.
Tell us, why do you refer to the Kumi Yangu and Kumi
That's what he said. He said
You
no,
always
the
refer to
supporters
that.
who referred to that.
Okay.
But he himself as the deputy president, he said that he doesn't have anything against the president. Let the president support whoever the person
I think
is.
a better question.
We don't have
question to ask Zach is if DP was being treated by the president like Raila is being treated now, would you guys like it or you would not like it?
They will be celebrating.
We does. We like democracy. We will not like it.
You see, he has
Actually,
not
not being like to me, I don't think the president is doing democracy.
You raised a
as per
fundamental
now.
question
Yes.
that maybe we need to look at it in depth.
What is the influence of the incumbency according to you?
Exactly. He doesn't have any influence.
And as we're gearing towards 2022, what do you think might be different from all these other years, from 2002, 2013, and now we're going to 2022? What could be different?
Exactly. When we analyze this question, we need to contextualize it.
Yes.
In 2002,
Yes.
when Raila said Kibaki Tosha, and Mzee said Uhuru Kenyatta, and Uhuru Kenyatta lost. The germane question we need to ask ourselves is, what was the rating of Uhuru Kenyatta at that time? What following did he have?
Okay.
He didn't have any
He was
following.
he was just picked.
So you are basing your argument on followers.
So and that is what I was telling you.
Yes.
When you need to support somebody from scratch as an incumbent, you have so much work to do.
Yes.
And that time, there was a revolution in our politics.
Yes.
There was now the
wave of change.
Yes, there was the renegade type of politics.
Yes.
Today, the NAC Brigade, the Rainbow Coalition would be in Wajir. The next time they're in Mombasa. Moi was not used to that kind of politics. Did you ever see Moi call for a rally anywhere? Never. So he thought he would fit in that format. But now, the Rainbow Coalition had brought a different type of politics which did not work.
Yes.
Number two, what made Kibaki win in that election? Because he was coming with both the social capital and the political capital.
Yes.
Remember, in the election of the immediate election of 1997,
Yes.
Kibaki had come very close to President Moi.
Yes.
In fact, the winning margin was 500,000 votes.
Okay.
That's what Moi defeated him with.
Yes.
And
What
then,
about 2007?
and,
One, 2 year 2007.
No, that is, I'm talking about 1997.
Yes.
So then he would come to win 2002.
Yes.
So when Raila says in Uhuru Kibaki Tosha,
Yes.
he's endorsing somebody who is already coming with.
He has a following.
You don't need to work so much.
I want to know.
And ideally, what happened is, you remember, the entire bit of the election until the entire bit of the campaign period until the election time, Kibaki even got an accident and went out of the country. But this train continued because they were not struggling with somebody who didn't even have numbers to begin with, but they were branding, they were just increasing the visibility of the brand, and that is why he won the election. When you look at 2013, we cannot say that Kibaki supported Mudavadi. Kibaki didn't support Mudavadi. Remember, Mudavadi was duped, and then last minute things were changed. Then the Madimoni story came in, and that is how he went. So ideally, Kibaki established a system that necessitated a perfect and clear and smooth
Maybe
way
I can just
for TNA. And that is why, even during the Raila 1 petition, there were elements of the incumbent having influenced that election, though covertly. That is how it is different from, so we cannot blanketly say that when an incumbent is supporting you, it's a little bit
let me get to Chayuga. Chayuga, you also share the idea and that the incumbency has got power and influence in who becomes the next president, right?
Today,
yes or no? Yes or no?
No, I have to answer it.
Today, from where I see. My question is,
yes, and allow me to explain.
Yes. If at all you have, if you share the same opinion as him, do you think that Mudavadi of ANC has got the razzmatazz, the influence to carry on the power? Or maybe be supported enough by the president, and should he be supported? Do you think that he can take it on? He can beat William Ruto?
Yes, I believe first of all, Mudavadi is the most sober and the most sober politician amongst all that we have. Okay, you agree he's a sober leader, right?
No, sober.
How do you gauge that sober in terms of what?
Sober
leader. He's not a leader that will hurl abuses. He's just a performer. He will work with sobriety. In that, he's not, his decisions
but
are
he
not.
was last when he was in Nyeri, he was saying that the bottom up is doing that was an insult.
That is not what Mudavadi said.
Let him continue. The point he is trying to elucidate. So you said his decisions. Continue from that point. His decisions.
Okay, Mudavadi is not a leader who will make his decisions depending on his emotions. He's that is why I refer to him as the most sober leader we have. Unlike the DP, who today you will see him even abusing his boss.
So now,
to
that end, Chauga is very right. Mudavadi is not a leader who will make decisions based on what he feels. That is why I always say Mudavadi's supporters are more serious for the presidency than Mudavadi himself. Do you know why Mudavadi is insisting he'll be on the ticket in 2022? Because his supporters, so the man is suffering. The man would like to come out and say,
let's do this. We're wrapping up the show. we have but first of all, as we're wrapping the show, I want to hear we have a plot by the Orange Democratic Movement to kick the IEBC chairman, Wafula Chebukati. Of course, it elicited mixed reactions from ANC and from lawyers, from lawmakers from the DP's camp. Let me just hear this from Vudeni. Let me start with you as you also make your closing remarks.
Okay, to begin with your question, the IBC question.
Yes.
In football, we normally say whenever you keep losing a match,
yes.
It is not because of the referee's biased decision. At times, check on your team, check on your strikers. So now, I think there are guys who are trying to, they will always blame it on the referee. And for us from the One Kenya Alliance, from where we sit, we believe maybe some of the issues highlighted by the court in 2017 during the nullification of the election, I think some of them maybe have been dealt with. So we will not blame the referee. Let us play the game, and we believe we will win. And it's not because the referee was biased. And as One Kenya Alliance, we believe in one people, one nation. And tunaomoka na oka.
Zach, let me hear this from
With me, I will be very brief.
Yes.
You know, this is a laughing matter, actually.
Yes.
ODM, they always cry about this IEBC issue. Themselves, they wanted IEBC to conduct a referendum for amendment of the constitution. The same IEBC, again, they'll complain, they're not happy with it, that they don't have the confidence that they can conduct an election. The same thing, the IEBC has been, is an independent body. It's high time they agree with the result, that's the outcome, and they give the IEBC time to do. But what they're doing, they're creating a way to discredit the outcome of an election. They come looking for handshake in the Hustler Nation. While the handshake in the Hustler Nation won't be easy, we won't give them that handshake. Actually, we know we're going to form the government, but they're trying now to create a way to get an handshake. They will form the opposition government. What we can assure them, we'll give them an opposition office somewhere, a very good package, and welcome them to government. And tuendelee kufanyia wananchi kazi.
Let me hear this from President Alenga. Alenga, what's your closing remarks, and what do you think about the ODM's move that they want to house Wafula Chebukati and the other two commissioners?
The bigger picture is the ability for this country to have a transparent, free and fair election. We know that we will live together happily, we will dance, we will laugh, we'll do the things we do until an election is called for and the arbiter of the election decides to do things their own way. People tend to associate that with Raila Odinga, but I will remind them, in 1992, Stanley Nyindo Matiba moved to the Court of Appeal to appeal the election results of 1992, which were highly manipulated by the reigning regime of Moi. His petition was thrown out last minute because he was unwell and was not able to sign the petition himself. His signature was not there. In 1997, Mwai Kibaki moved to the High Court to appeal, to the Court of Appeal, to appeal the results of the election of 1997, which we know Kibaki won, but the manipulations were done and he lost with a margin of 500,000 votes. In 2002, people say Kibaki won, but they forget to say one thing, that the incumbent refused to manipulate the election. If Moi wanted Uhuru to win in 2002 so that we can fight and cut each other and after 3 months we settle down and move on with Uhuru, he would have done it, but he didn't do that. In 2007, we have an election being meddled in by the state, and we know what happened. In 2013, the same. In 2017, the same. So we must reach a point where we must demand for credible elections.
But we can't keep changing the
and if you look at if you read the Raila 2 petition judgment clearly, you see all those irregularities that were mentioned. At least someone should have not waited to be told go home. They should have just taken responsibility and say, I am taking responsibility.
Okay.
Just like
Every
we see in-
election, we are demanding to change officials.
In mature democracies, people
I wanted
take
them to-
responsibility.
But we can't
But I
keep
wanted you
changing.
to tell us why you wanted, why do you believe them
we have
conducting
come
a
to the end of
referendum?
the
Why do
show.
you believe them?
Gentlemen,
It's
we
a
have come to
matter
the
of
end of the show.
integrity, just taking responsibility.
Gentlemen,
They will take
gentlemen,
responsibility then
can't
in
be
2017.
Gentlemen,
In 2022.
fortunately or unfortunately, we do not have any other time. But of course, we invite you for the next show where we can talk about politics, of course. This is the insight. It's been a great conversation here with a high voltage discourse with my panelists here, where we have been discussing politics. And of course, you know that every Friday at 8 p.m., this is where you get politics being elucidated and discussed deliberately for you to understand. And we chew things that you do not, and we chew them into boluses that you can swallow. My name is Eugene Ochieng Kwach, and on behalf of those people who have made this happen, have a good night.